It ain't no thing to do my thing, it's what I did the best. Yes, I copped that crib and 2 chains and I hid the rest. And it's okay to do your thing, but just don't do the most. I put my friends in that old Benz and take that to the coast. It ain't no thing to do my thing, it's what I do the best. I fill my mattress, pay my taxes, not blue the rest. And it's okay to do your thing, but just don't do the least. I quit my boss and that sauce and fed that to the street. Sliding it like a wet flow, already fried from the get-go. Alligators look like echo, everything I do they echo. Big facts, my bank on big man, my drip too wet, that spit can. Yo, swap me like Q-tips, hold that there like dip can. No rehearse, need no reverb, hold your lip, don't say 3 words. Quick trip to get that lick, broad tree fur if you prefer. Quick ride, no time, I'm in there. She clockwise, real good skincare, no TikTok for that. They know that love don't live there. I can't roll no plan. Red Rover, I do whole hands. From my foresight, investment brought me 4 bands. Don't roll right here. We'll wheel all by your forehead. That city John be like he lit. Them country girls be like, go ahead. If I ain't that man, then I gotta be more than human. How you mean? Funny how the people back then who was hating on the kid always talking about how you clean. Put a little gas in the blunt and I don't pass broke. Just please be cool, but I can't blame you. I won't shame you. I probably wanna be me too. It ain't no thing to do my thing. It's what I did the best. Yes. I copped that crib and bought 2 chains and then I hid the rest. And it's okay to do your thing, but just don't do the most. I put my friends in that old Benz and took that to the coast. It ain't no thing to do my thing. It's what I do the best.
Oh hell no!
It's YouTube say, bro. It's YouTube say.
Oh,
Who made that? That's Skywalker?
Yeah. Well, no, I ain't
He said
making
it's
it.
That ain't him
saved.
rapping.
No, I'm fucking with you because he said it's YouTube save.
And
Like,
not
that's your
being
own
him
job?
rapping.
Okay,
Cool. We good. We live. We straight. Will Steele, we straight.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the daggone roundtable. We look. There are multiple reasons why we this late, and I don't mean late today. I mean late in general. We were supposed to do this for the playoffs, but Will Steele was like, "But Voch, every time we go to the, every time we do a, I'm superstitious, Voch. We do a roundtable, we lose the game. Well, we lost anyway.
Yeah, we lost anyway.
We lost anyway. We're gonna talk about some of that. We was gonna give you a roundtable last week. Foots didn't know where he was geographically. You know what I mean?
That's no joke.
Sometimes my soul be lost. You know what I mean? Sometimes my spirit be lost. Sometimes we can be lost in thought. Foots geographically had no idea where he was. So he thought he was at home, but he wasn't.
I was on vacation, man. Don't let them lie to y'all, man. There we go.
But you forgot you was on vacation.
He's drinking mojitos and my ties.
Hey, Scott. Hey, Scott. At least that's a good reason to forget, right?
Absolutely.
That's a horrible reason, sir. But the roundtable with 5 E's, we're back to entertain you. We got a lot to talk about. We ain't gonna hold y'all too terribly long, because you know what I'm saying. We don't. You know, if we did this for 3 hours every day, you wouldn't tune into us. You know what I mean? So we're gonna keep this short and sweet. But we got a gang to fuss about, a gang to cuss about. Is everybody fine? Roundtable, how y'all doing today? Everybody good? We straight?
I'm tip top.
Man, I'm ready,
We
brother.
good over here.
Been ready for a week.
Okay, then let's
I'm actually ready to unload on Cowboys fans as well.
We had a little conversation about that one.
So I think it's safe to say that the season didn't go the way that we expected it to go. Fine, it happens. Only one team can win the Super Bowl. It's rarely the best team. It's rarely the team with the best quarterback, right? But I've been kind of MIA on Twitter for the past, couple of weeks, because I feel like, people just do a lot of, complaining. You know what I mean? I think that sometimes as Cowboy fans, we get caught up in this bubble that I want to be the best or bust. If this didn't happen, everything goes to shambles. And I just think that that's very peculiar, that we just change our train of thought when we lose one game. If you ask anybody at this table, and I ain't shooting at nobody in particular, we just talking today. If you ask anybody at this table, most people in this chat box, many Cowboy fans around the world, you would say that our roster was good enough to win a bowl. But then we get to the offseason after losing a game. We lose in the playoffs to a pretty good San Francisco team, very physical team. I hate that we lost to them the way that we lost to them, but whatever. We lose to this team. Now, all of a sudden, We don't know how to build rosters now. All of a sudden, we this, we trash. All of a sudden, we're a poverty
So he
franchise.
won't start.
That shit burns me up. When I look at the Jets, I look at all these teams, the Browns. I look and I think when I see those, I think poverty franchise. Now we're not what we've been, and Skywalker still makes a great point when he has a high standard. It's just his standard may be a little higher than others, right? So I just want us to talk amongst each other, right? I want us to talk amongst each other about problems with this team and things that happened over the offseason, because we might end up fussing, dog. We might end up fighting each other, but I just kind of want to hear from y'all, man. I don't think that we do a bad job building a team. I don't think that we need to spend all this money on free agents or at least big name free agents, right? I don't think we need to do the balls to the wall. Let's go trade 3 first-round picks to go get Aaron Donald. Fuck them picks, because I don't think that's the appropriate way to build a team. I'm just kind of on this side, but I just want to hear y'all's thoughts about team building and what went wrong and things like that. Let's start with Will Steele. You was over there scrunching your face up.
Well, you're asking two different things. What went wrong this season? I mean, I think it was more so the coaching situation than anything. I've never had a problem with the talent acquisition per se. In the draft, my whole gripe has always been free agency and trade market. But if we're just talking about 2021 season, yeah, they had enough to get it done. They just didn't do it. But I understand the frustration with Cowboys fans. Definitely right now. It's February, March, right? Like we just came off of the loss. So I sympathize with them right now. But if we're still having these conversations come July and August, when after the draft, after free agency, then you just miserable. You know what I mean? And that's fine. I tell people all the time, if you want to remain miserable, that's cool. But we got to move on at some point. But right now, I totally understand. I'm not mad at nobody for feeling down or pissed off or upset, because I am. Yeah, should have won.
Brother Brad, you came to us earlier in the pre-meeting where we cuss and say things that'll get us canceled and things like that. And you was like, you ready to shoot at Cowboy fans over their thoughts, emotions, and opinions, sir. What you got on this, Brother Brad?
The team building argument, man, we can get into a lot.
Yeah, that's a whole
it's so many. The running back, quarterback. People want to talk about who got paid first. All these houses built. That's fine. But the truth of the matter is this: I'm gonna lean with Sky on the coaching thing in the San Francisco game. You had a good enough roster to win that game,
for sure.
And my tone has always been the same about Kellen Moore. I'm not going to say he's a bad offensive coordinator, because that's blasphemy. But I don't think that there's ever been a coach who was given a job who had never previously done that job before and given a job that is the standard. Yeah, Law. That was this the Dallas Cowboys. You're the offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. I think that you have a good enough quarterback to win. I think that you have a good enough receiving core to win. There are people talking about in the draft, let's draft a receiver. What? You have everything that you needed. I think that there was little things in that you basically, and I'm gonna shut up. You lost the first half of that game. You weren't able to find rhythm in the second half of that game. Kellen wasn't able to scheme against a good defense, and we lost. I don't think that you need to scrap this whole roster. No.
I just think sometimes fans hold on to like old shit and they make that what their emotion is about. The one thing that I hate the most is when I hear like someone say, but Voch, it's been 26 years, man. It's been 26 years of this. And my only retort to that is, first of all, I wasn't around. Like, I wasn't even a football fan when all that shit was going on. Salary cap wasn't a thing neither, so you got to kind of run teams a little bit differently. Plus, if we were to do some of these things, if we were to trade two first-round picks for a wide receiver that don't work out, or we go and get a Roy Williams because we want to be aggressive in free agency, they get those kind of moves when we do make the more conservative moves. Now, should we be more aggressive when we do, off-season things, free agency things? I'm gonna look at Akoye next. Off-season things for maybe, possibly, but I think we don't spend a lot of money on free agents because we draft so well. We haven't always been I'm Skywalker Steele. Don't you make me skip Akoye to go back to you. I just think that I think that we draft so well, man, that we don't always have room to go. Now look. One last thing, and I'm gonna go to Skywalker Steele, then I'm gonna go to Akoye. I think we just hold on to old shit, right? I actually see people on this.
Be the Sky. The Sky Show.
I actually see people on this social media going, Voch, you say we draft well. What about Taco Charlton and Morris?
That's weak. That's a weak argument.
That's very weak.
That's weak.
Or they go,
It's time to let it go.
You know, what
Gotta
about
let it go?
Well, Voch, you can't say this. Just Jalen Smith and Ezekiel Elliott. Okay, that bothers the shit out of me, right? But it's like your fandom clouds the good decisions that we've made, like not paying DeMarco Murray and shit like that. Like it clouds the good decisions that we made when you only see the one or two bad things that we do. I don't think that we're far away. Even in this offseason, I don't think that we're far away from being championship level. You know what I mean? We just got to do some better things offensive coordinator wise, and we straight. I don't think this is the sink is shipping thing. Akoye, I'm sorry, but Will still made a face at me.
Go ahead, man.
Because damn it, I am. It's been 26 years, Voch. I mean, I don't know why you get mad at fans for saying that. It's really been 26 years, man. But anyway,
That's facts. I agree with you on that, though.
But
Koye,
go ahead, Koye.
No, I understand everybody's frustration, man. Like, I want to win just like everybody else. But as far as the question goes, I think it was a perfect storm. I'm not particularly mad at any one group. Not any. I think players could have stepped up regardless of what the coaches were doing. They could have stepped up and executed a little bit better, both in the playoffs and throughout the last stretch of the season. Also, you know, we already know Jerry kind of had his hands in the pot when it comes to, well, at least I think so, when it comes to Amari Cooper and other player personnel decisions and things like that, including the decision to, like you guys said, give Kellen Moore the nod to, you know, run this offense carte blanche in the first place. So, you know, there was a lot of anger to go around. I'm calm now on the whole situation and looking at it. You know, the blame isn't pointed at any one thing. Like, it's not on just Dak. It's not just on Kellen. It's not just on, you know, Jerry either. But the shit rolls downhill, man. So at the end of the day, or at the beginning of it, either however you want to say it, I feel like the one thing that we can change that would make this team function a little bit better would be Jerry kind of removing his hands from the day-to-day player operations, like week to week, like as a coach. Don't try to be the coach. Be the GM that you are, and let the coach fall on his sword. If he falls on his sword and he can't win, then he can't win. But trying to tweak things, talking about tilting the hat as far as like what player is going to play this week, which one's not going to play, so on, things like that. Punishing, I think he punished Coop in the Saints game as well, and because of the COVID situation, and then even now with the whole soap opera around Coop, all that type of stuff is distractionary stuff that I think takes away from what the Cowboys actually have. And like you guys said, the sky is falling shit comes from the narrative that's being spread from top down. So that's the one thing I think needs to be changing. That's it's not something that angers me because I'm so used to it now, but definitely needs to be tweaked though. But outside of that, I agree with you, Voch. I feel like we had a team that could play with anybody. I'm happy if we rolled back in with a similar team coming into next year. So I can't come at Will McClay. I can't even come at Jerry in the way they put a team together, because they've actually done that. But the way we've managed that talent on the field, you definitely can, you know, scream about, whether that be that talent not rising to the occasion, or, you know, coaches not being able to do what they need to do in order to rein guys in and make this team what I know it already is, which is a winning franchise. I think we can win with what we got right now, man.
Well, let me tell you
Even
what
with
I like
some
about
of the free agency shit that's going on.
Well, let me tell you what I don't like about Law Nation.
My bad. I ain't trying to get y'all
No,
demonetized.
you good. Let me tell you what I don't like about Law Nation. Right? Everybody,
he already tried to come for you, Law.
Everybody pretty
got the
much has
Matlock.
a side in this thing, right? Everybody pretty much has a side, and we really like stick to our side. You know what I mean? But Law Nation be so fan friendly. You know what I mean? He wants to, you know what I'm saying, build his audience. You know what I'm saying? He wants the Law Nation Film Session channel to be a safe space. That Law Nation one day will be up in this bug and be like, well, Cowboy fans, you can't be ungrateful at the job that we've done. We've put together a good situation here, guys. We can't act like that. And then another day, Law Nation will be like, I need answers. This we cannot stand.
That's the law I need. I want that law.
I am not buying another jersey or a season ticket until we figure this out. Brother Law Nation, what side are you on, man? Because you picked both of them, Law. I don't hate you for doing it because you're clearly successful and it works, my good sir. I envy that. But, sir, What side are you on, Law? I'm putting you on the
Don't-
spot right now in front of all 1,000 people listening right now.
Don't shank me with the butter knife. You know,
No butter over here. No butter over here.
Oh, you got a real one. But here's the thing, though. You know, when you asked the question about, or you raised the question about what the fans were saying about the John Stephen Jones building the team, and yes, he did a wonderful job. But it's equivalent to me purchasing my Beamer and saying, okay, here you go, to my daughter who is only 6 years of age. You know, it's just what the Cowboys are doing. We are not light years apart from the LA Rams, and they just lifted the Lombardi trophy. We are coaching apart from the LA Rams. If you pick up
Culture
Sean McVay,
apart.
cultural and coaching, you know, if you pick those two things up, and I ain't going to say they got the best culture over there in LA, Cowboys, I think that they managed most of this. But when Mike McCarthy come to the press of this offseason saying that, hey, it's time for me to work on penalties and as well as adversity, that's what you're doing on the offseason, that's cause to pause right there. So I get it when the fan base say, hey, it's been 26, going on 27 years of lack of holding that Lombardi trophy up or playing in the biggest of the biggest and the brightest of the brightest dance floor. It's all due to, you got to point at the leader of the team overall, and that's Jerry Jones. He need to step back, like Akoye said, and it's quite strange to me that the Cincinnati Bengals, they had an owner that was doing the same thing, meddling, putting his hands all into the cookie jar. And the moment he stepped back and empowered his daughter to run the operation, they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. I think we can do the same.
Can we get fired in all chat boxes for Law Nation's flex? He said, picking out my Beamer. Can we all just, you know what I'm saying, just give one little, can we just please?
It was definitely fire.
We ain't doing nothing else, man. I'm trying to be like Law Nation when I grow up. You hear me? I feel y'all, man. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to this thing, man. But I don't really think that, you know, Jerry
Jerry's never gonna step back.
No,
Jerry,
right.
Jerry,
No.
Like, come on, y'all.
Jerry's very much. This is what I would blame Jerry most for. Jerry's most responsible for the optics and the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that he got something to say about this, or that he has an opinion. He's always in the camera. That's the only thing. But I keep saying constantly, bro, Jerry Jones not watching film on J-Ron Curse. Hey man, show me some of that Lions film on J-Ron Curse we could pick. Jerry not doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so there's
But
this.
see, we're laughing, but that's bad. Because
If you're a
Jerry and
GM,
Stephen
yeah.
Jones are the ones making a lot of these final says, these
Now,
final
now,
decisions.
Scott, hey Scott, I want to
just
ask.
trust their staff with it, though. I don't think it's like Voch is saying they don't watch it and they just make a decision in the dark. I think they hold guys like Will McClay really accountable for the guys that they're putting in front of them, and then they trust amongst the decisions that they.
Well, he gives
put
Will
on the
McClay
table, so to speak.
a list, right, and says this is what we want here. We don't want to go out and get the Tyrann Matthews because they cost more than X amount of dollars, or we don't want to get this said position because we don't believe in said position. But that's a problem because I don't believe in them as football people. And here's why. Because when you have a general manager, there's pressure. There is no pressure here. There's only profit. They don't care about pressure during the present. They only care about profit for the future. Go look at all the general managers in Green Bay, in Kansas City, in San Francisco, Philly. They all have general managers. The Rams, Les Snead.
Yeah.
Right.
You think they don't have pressure to get it done now?
No, you're right about
So
that.
when you hear Stephen Jones talk about, well, we got to worry about 2023, 2024, 2025, that's because they're comfortable. They don't have to be ultra aggressive to get it done now. They can live with being good enough.
So like,
Scott brought his fastball today.
Wilson, let me ask you this, and I don't know the answer. I'm just asking. Do you think that if we're not drafting as well and we're not scouting as well, do you think that Will McClay will get fired in that way? Because they're not getting fired, but
Will would definitely get fired.
Yeah, he would get fired.
I'll answer that for you, Scott.
So I think it's the same
I know that was your
because
question,
we just
Scott,
do
but he
it
would definitely
different.
get fired.
It's just that the Cowboys organization does it with different names. You know what I mean? Will McClay's the GM. Straight up and down.
No. I disagree.
Will
I
McClay-
disagree.
He's
how you
he's
figure that?
in charge of money.
No.
He's not in charge of the money.
Voch,
But
I disagree.
Building this team is his baby. Tell me why you disagree.
Let me tell you what he is
I
real quick,
think.
folks.
Okay, and I'll jump in.
Will McClay is the Uber driver from Uber Eats.
Oh,
We pick the
Hey,
groceries.
man, what does that mean?
You go pick them up.
Hey, man, don't say that, man. What does that mean?
He's the Uber Eats
disrespect that.
driver.
Yo,
Does all of the heavy
Stephen
lifting.
Jones.
you in Dallas. He might box you when he sees you. He might box you
but go
in the
ahead, folks.
supermarket.
I think
Box you in the frozen food section.
I think that Will is running the draft for sure. But pro personnel decisions, I think that he marries the whatever we want to do scheme wise with the coaches because he was a coach and he is the football guy that Sky is talking about.
Sure.
But as far as I do believe that because I have a feeling that Sky has some tension with Steven. I can kind of tell with some tweets and stuff.
Clearly.
And so, but here's the deal. So I do agree.
somebody.
I do agree with Sky. I do agree with Sky that he is not the GM because I think that there are times that I'm pretty sure Will wanted to bring in better or do a little bit more in free agency, as most fans did. Like you can live off the draft, but only for so long. And the problem is contractually, we're not doing a good job with managing contracts and getting rid of players. Like we don't have a real rhyme or reason for what we do. Like Bill, for example, Bill Belichick will get rid of you 2 years before you're done. He's trying to shop you. He's getting you out of there. Running back, the only person who was untouchable with the Patriots was Tom Brady. Everybody else was, and I don't feel that Will has that ability.
Will doesn't have the ability to fire no one.
You can tell who Jerry brought in versus who Jerry likes and who Steven likes versus who Will McClay likes.
That's a fact.
That rug will get pulled real quick if it's one of Will McClay's guys, or they don't even see the field at all. Like a candidate, we was like, why can't never get on the field because he ain't one of the guys that they brought in here that they actually nurtured and like. But he's probably a guy that Will McClay said you could probably get some value out of this guy. But they like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you can tell who Will McClay's guys are, who Mike McCarthy's guys are versus who's with Jerry, because Jerry will give you a lot more leeway when it's his pick.
But if I could just push back at what Foot said at the very end of what he was saying, with the whole like Belichick comparison, besides Zeke and Jalen Smith, because them the big ones, and we've heard some things about why Jalen fell off. But besides them two, who have we not released in time? Like who have we not cut before they?
Wait a second. Why you throw Zeke's name in there? I'm trying to understand what's going on.
Don't get
rewind.
Here we go. I knew this was coming.
Zeke should have been cut already. That's what you're saying.
Zeke could be an entirely different conversation. Let's finish this one
real quick.
Let's finish this one.
Jalen, and he said Zeke. You see how he said that real quick?
He did.
So,
Zeke should have been cut, Voch.
Zeke should have been cut.
In
Voch Lombardi's personal opinion, and that's what I love about YouTube. You can go find this shit. Voch was like, "Hey man, I think we should run with Tony, let Zeke go, and pay Byron instead of Tony." I said this shit.
Hold on, can this please be another? Because we
gotta stay. I want to stay. I want to stay
on this
because we'll stay here.
I don't agree.
Go ahead.
I want to rebut because Voch just tried to attack me real quick. Here's the problem. You held on. You talk about who we hold on to too long. There's a couple athletes that we held on to for too long, and I don't want to go down a laundry list. But there has been a couple guys that is like, okay, what are they doing here?
Okay, go ahead.
You understand what I'm saying? I'll give you one. Sean Lee was one. Sean Lee should have been out the door. Injury prone.
But
I love Sean.
Let me say this though, Foots.
I love Sean.
Towards the end of Sean Lee's career, he was making $32 a year. Sean Lee was getting paid $100 per game played. So
he was still a log jam against progress. Like we couldn't get a guy in
there you go, Witten. Like there you go. Like listen, at the end of the day,
Witten's a good one.
I like what Akoye just said.
Tyrone Crawford.
You're stopping growth. Tyrone was a great one.
Tyrone Crawford was a long contract that we just couldn't get out of.
But that's the problem.
Also, too, how long ago was Tyrone Crawford? Go ahead.
It was just last year.
But the problem is you are stunting growth. We have stunted.
Wait a minute.
Hey, Voch, you losing this argument, Voch. You lost this one.
Ass.
I'm not.
You got to fight back.
What time I was? I got an ego. I ain't losing.
Slapping you up. Voch would take an MMA belt. Watch yourself.
No. Voch is just curious. See,
I just gave you 3 athletes, Voch.
Pull
You
it
need
once.
more?
I'm just
Hold
asking.
up, though.
I'm asking to be educated. I don't want to fight.
Put the
nobody.
knife down, Voch.
So let me help educate you a
That's
little
the
bit
butter
more.
knife, but that's the real one.
Let me.
Ain't no butter knives in the house.
Why he dropped the knife? Like
Right, right.
Ain't no butter knives.
Supposed to be boys pulling out the hunting joint.
Hey, in all seriousness, and I'm gonna let you
He
go.
always got it on him too. by
Hey,
the
in
way.
all seriousness though, Voch, he's not
Yeah.
the GM because
The Indiana
law
Jones.
hit it on the head. He's
Yeah.
not the GM because he can't cut anybody. And the truth of the matter is, a GM has the ability to move on from athletes. You talk about stopping progress. He cannot say he's in the way. It's time to move on. He
Move
can't do
on
that.
or
He can make
acquire.
suggestions, yeah.
And I'm glad
Wow,
you
that's
brought
good.
up Bill Belichick. And it's not. I usually try not to do the whole Patriots thing
The
because
GOAT.
that's an anomaly, right?
But that's what
But-
they're trying to mimic.
But when, like you just said, Akoye, when Stephen Jones comes out and says, "Well, the New England Patriots, he came out and said it himself. The audacity, the unmitigated gall for him to say, Patriots, you don't do anything like the Patriots, sir. They have traded away guys like a Logan Mankins and Richard Seymour and." They traded Randy Moss. They've traded for Randy Moss and Wes Welker and all these other guys, and they've signed
Yeah.
Stephon Gilmore's and Daryl Reeves and
They got
things like
active,
that.
yeah.
Don't
They know how to
mention
get
the
last little bit of
Patriots
value out of you.
when you don't
and
have
get
the
rid of you when you're about
cojones
to
to be
be,
the Patriots.
on the blast end of that value too. You're right. You
So
100%.
it's just
Yeah.
disrespect.
Yeah.
Don't insult my intelligence. Is what I'm saying, Stephen Jones.
No, you got a point.
You know what I mean?
Well, Foots, I had questions and you answered my questions clearly, sir. So we not arguing. This wasn't a
Nah.
debate. I didn't have a
This
side.
off season, we chilling, Voch. You
I
know
just
that.
I just wanted to know. We ain't really fussing about what we might be fussing about next because I might get real passionate about this.
What's that?
There's go ahead, Will. Still, what you think I'm about to say? Because you might have something better than I got.
No.
written.
I said, what's that one?
Okay, cool. So we're on road, man. We just been we talking about player acquisition, players getting cut, things like that. I just got a couple names written down and one position that's kind of been ringing in the streets. These is rumors. None of this shit really happened. Nothing's happened yet. You know what I mean? Most of it's speculation and just talk, but nobody at the table trying to move on from D-Law, are we? Like nobody.
No,
Not me.
Koye, you ain't trying to move on because the last time you had.
I'm gonna
this.
tell you like
Hey,
this,
me and
man.
Koye got it.
No, this is how I feel, right?
Oh shit.
I
Ghost
think-
in time, baby.
Do I want to get rid of D-Law after the way he came on in the last end of the season? Like, if you would have asked me when he was injured, I'd say yeah. When he came back though, I got to give him all his respect. I was
turned it
I
on.
think he
Turned it
played
on.
better in the last end of the season than I've seen him play in probably 2 years. So
Yeah.
I can't come at D-Law, but I do want to be realistic at the same time. Either D-Law or Coop, one of them will be gone. And if I had to choose between the two, I would say I would rather keep Coop. That's just what I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
I
not.
feel like one of the two. They're not going to keep.
I
both of them.
disagree. I
don't think they're going to keep both of them.
Real
And
fast,
if you
real
got to choose one, I choose Coop because he's younger. And I think he makes our offense a lot more potent than we give him credit for. I think we've shown
and
this
we have
year
an
that we can
in-house
play
solution.
defense without D-Law.
Because of the
I think
in-house
we-
solution named
sure.
Micah Parsons.
Now,
There you go.
Now, Foots, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna let you go. I'm not numbers guy. I'm not really like contract or whatever guy, but I know Will Steele probably is, sir. So isn't it a way we could just like hit a bunch of buttons and keep both of them? Like that is an option, right? Or like, do we have to get
Yeah,
rid of
if
one
we
of
could, then that's fine. Yeah,
You
I just
can
don't
you
think so,
can
yeah.
restructure contracts and we can create right now upwards of $60 million if we wanted to. But Catboy is going to tell you, well, we got to worry about 2025. Like, who cares? But that's what he's
You
going to
heard
tell
that when Steven said that, right?
Yeah.
He said eventually you got to pay it. You know,
you.
so
Yeah,
I'm sitting like
he literally used
he
the
said
words 2024 and 2025. And we're in
Okay, go ahead.
2022. So that goes
Go
to
ahead.
show you how they run this business because they're not running like a football operation. But go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just think that the defense right now has to be the vocal point of this team for what Sky just said with Micah Parsons. And my whole mindset, Sky, we talked about it on your channel, like even with the draft, how I want to draft. I don't think that I love Amari Cooper. And Amari Cooper is still that dude. But the way that Kellen Moore designs stuff, and the problem is this: he's not going to. We don't do like you see how the Bengals really were able to use 3 weapons. We don't do that well.
right.
We don't. And the problem is Coop is wasting away here. And there's no need in keeping him And the offense is not. I would rather Kellen have more tendencies where there's a true one, because this whole everybody's going to get the ball and there's no way that you can guard it. It didn't work. It didn't work against good. It didn't work against good teams. Where we saw the Bengals were able to spread the ball around how it was supposed to be done against a good defense. They took away or they tried to do things against Jamar Chase. What did they do? They found T. Higgins. They made other guys. We don't do that. It's literally, and we definitely don't scheme well. So that's the only reason why I say at least Dan Quinn will have a true plan for, because I still think that DeMarcus Lawrence makes this defense elite. I saw somebody in the chat box say sacks.
You killing.
I don't think that
though, because Dan Quinn has shown when DeMarcus Lawrence was going that he can scheme. I trust Dan Quinn to scheme up a less talented guy and get more out of him than I do with Kellen.
But Akoye, how much better? Like,
y'all
to
both
be honest
right.
with you,
I just want to say it right now, y'all both
I wouldn't
right.
take Kellen trying to scheme up guys that aren't number ones. And when you watch Coop's film, if you think that the offense sputter out at all, when you watch Coop's film and watching how much attention that he really gets from opposing defenses, he gets bracket coverage all day. He doesn't.
So
get
why can't we? So why don't we? Why can't we find a way to get that away? The ball?
Because let me put this out there.
One-on-one all year.
Let me put this out there for all of y'all right now. If we just to pick up Deebo Samuel, let's say he's on his team, will he be Deebo Samuel?
No.
Who?
Who?
No.
Debo will Cowboys. Would Debo be Debo?
No, fact. No, you're right.
No. I mean, a third of everybody.
Debo will never be Debo almost anywhere though, because Debo was like the offense over there. You know what I mean? We got too many players for Debo to be Debo here.
Debo would be Debo in
Tony
LA
ain't Tony here
with the Rams.
He would definitely be.
You know what I'm saying? Tony Pollard ain't Tony Pollard here.
Be here with the Dolphins now.
CD ain't CD here.
Well,
none of those.
Well, the truth is this, and I'll let you go, Akoye. The truth is, my problem is, like, Shanahan doesn't overthink these athletes. So the problem with this is why I'm so hard on Kellen Moore. He doesn't have tendencies. I've always said as a coach, you need to have tendencies because you need to have something that they have to go in and stop, and then you can
know what they come.
Yeah, we don't have anything that, and so all I'm saying is, I guess de facto, Akoye is, do I think Coop can still play? Hell yeah, he's still a top 5 route runner in the league. The problem is,
I didn't think you were saying that. I was just saying if you remove him from this team, I think our offense automatically
will decrease.
So then we need to know.
Nobody's double teaming Gallup or Lamb. They're not. That's
the problem, because
the defenses get better if Coop.
Let me ask the whole panel this, and I'm gonna shut up. Because this is about to get hot. Is Lamb overrated? Because to me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I see top 10 ability. I still think that CeeDee Lamb is very good, but I don't know what's going on. Like, he is. I'm like, what's not clicking?
Because this CeeDee Lamb slander.
It's
not a slam. It's not a slam.
It's getting out of hand, fam. See, I've literally seen people. Man, CeeDee Lamb has been a disappointment. Excuse me.
Oh no, not at all.
Go look up CeeDee Lamb's first 2 years in Dallas right now. You want to tell me he's a disappointment? You're crazy.
I love him.
CeeDee Lamb is
just listen to the people. Listen to Kellen Moore tell you what this system is. Listen to Stephen Jones tell you the reason why he said this yesterday, 2 days ago. The reason why Amari Cooper was targeted the way it was targeted was because of the system. Because we have a system in place that says, okay, this is the progression. He's bracketed like Akoye says. Now I'm gonna go here. It's not a player-driven system. Our guy Simi Fehoko, 105.3 The Fan, and said, when I was in Stanford, we had a complex playbook. But when I got here, it was more so about this is the concept instead of, hey, I want you to do this. We're gonna get you the ball. It's all system-driven, and that's cool from time to time. But when it's nut up time, when it's playoff time, when it's big game time, you've got to have go-to guys. And for whatever reason, and Akoye, we had this conversation on my show. We thought maybe we bought into the conspiracy theories that he was holding stuff back because we couldn't figure it out. I bought that. I didn't at first, but then I was like, I don't know anything else.
Damn.
Well, I think I heard something a long time ago. I was in a clinic, and it's true, a coaching clinic. Always players, not plays. And so the truth of the matter is, CeeDee Lamb is a right now athlete. Raise up and get him the ball. I think he's just as good as Deebo Samuel. The problem is we don't use him in that way.
CeeDee Lamb is overrated in the way they're trying to use CeeDee Lamb. Like just line him up outside, true wide receiver,
Right.
and have him running comeback routes.
Like it's
only,
1994. He
you know,
Alvin
or
Harper.
put him in a slot and he's running deep post. That's all he does. That's not CeeDee Lamb. That's Cedric Wilson. That's not CeeDee Lamb.
That's true, Okoye. That's
CeeDee
a
Lamb,
good point.
you
That's a
put
good
him on
point.
drag
Yeah,
route
and just
to
like
get
we
the
had,
ball in his hand and let him do what he want to do. Just
yeah,
get
like
him
we had
the
in our
ball
group
and
chat,
let him
we said
rock.
the same
So
thing.
if you
We
saying
said
he's
Law
overrated
Nation.
same
as
thing.
what we're trying to pretend he is,
Yep.
yes, he is. But if we started using him the way he with his strength, he's a yak guy that breaks tackles, that's tough, physical, and will go up and get the ball over the top. That's what he does. We don't do that half. We weren't even doing Gallup justice this year.
No.
Gallup was one of those guys that used to break tackles and make big plays as well. Gallup was only the fade route guy this whole
Brother,
season. You know what I'm saying? Like
the passing scheme looked like the Ernie Zampese, the Air Coryell, just
Don
so
Coryell.
basic 90s passing scheme.
But who did he learn from? Who did
Scott
he sit
Linehan
under?
and Jason
you can only
Garrett.
learn
That-
from what
You
There
can't
you
come at
go.
Linehan
Yeah.
with that though, because Linehan was using the shit out of Coop. So I mean,
I'm talking about the route concepts, but you're right.
I'm about to
Linehan
say
was.
because Linehan
was-
will get his number one the ball. He got Moss the ball, he got Megatron the ball, he got Dez the ball, and he was getting Coop the ball.
Yeah.
So I can't come at Linehan with at least that part of it.
Well, for a
So,
second,
He's
knows
also
how to
been
get him out of
coaching.
the ball.
He's also been an
Yeah.
OC much longer than Kellen Moore, and
There you
that's
go.
why it goes. That's why it goes full circle. And I don't even think he was a great OC, but I will say this: this is why I had those issues. My bad, Sky.
I just
You
want to
say-
get a question in the law. How many drops did Debo Samuel
I
have
hate
this
that.
year? I just
I hate that.
How many drops did
Debo
Debo
had
have?
12 drops.
Okay.
Debo
Did,
had
did he
12
have
drops.
more? Did he have more drops than C Lamb?
While
Yeah,
he's
he had
looking
more
at it.
drops than CeeDee
All right.
Lamb. CeeDee Lamb had
Because that's the
7.
one thing that the only thing people would bring up with CD. Oh, he dropped the ball. Okay, as if Amari Cooper didn't have 18.
Jamar
drops
Chase
before.
led the league in drops, and
Chase done
Jamar
dropped
Chase
the
is
ball.
a
But he
fire.
also got targets.
He's a
though.
dog.
This my
You know
thing.
what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
got more
This is my thing.
targets.
This is my thing. I don't want Mike McCarthy to call plays and nothing like that because I feel like
Why? Why?
He don't need to call
you, dog,
plays.
if you listen, dog, what the
Yeah,
hell?
he don't need to call play. He need to tell you when he wants what he wants, though.
But
Oh
see,
yeah,
that's-
listen. I don't want Mike McCarthy calling plays because I feel like he's too removed from what we doing nowadays.
disagree.
But listen though, Foots.
Okay.
Mike McCarthy doesn't have to call plays for him to walk up to Kellen Moore. This is my biggest gripe with Mike McCarthy. For him to walk up to Kellen Moore and be like, "Why can't
Run
we
the
get
goddamn
this
ball.
Why is this not happening? Why
Right.
is that not happening?"
Is he allowed to do that?
Mike McCarthy,
Bob?
see, and look, this is
Good
my
point,
bigger
Foots.
problem, right? This is my bigger problem. Mike McCarthy ain't got the nuts. He ain't got the nuts to tell Ezekiel Elliott to sit your ass down because
and
Tony is
No.
hotter than you.
No.
Well, let's argue then, Voch.
No,
I'm
listen,
not even
Cuckolding
gonna. I'm
him,
listening.
though.
I'm listening.
Peep this out.
Round
Peep this out.
one.
Peep this. No, watch this. Watch this. Because there's no reason for Tony Pollard to get in the game, do what he does, and then for us to go 3 touches, that's enough. Come on, Zeke. So at some point, if nobody know why the hell Zeke in the game, then it's self-inflicted Zeke putting himself in the game. It's Mike McCarthy's job as a head coach to go, hey, yo, fam, the better players right now is we got to get Tony the ball. We got to get CD the ball. If they're going to be tripling Coop, doubling Coop, we got to get these characters the ball. We cannot
Exactly.
settle for just getting
Voch.
Cedric Wilson the ball. I like Cedric Wilson, but sir,
Listen.
there should
You
never
right.
be a time Cedric Wilson get more touches than Tony, dog. That's all I'm saying.
You 100% right on.
You're not saying nothing wrong, but I got to retort. I'm gonna wait.
The failure on the field, like the San Fran game, is not going to get you what you want because I think the philosophy before is Mike McCarthy bought Nolan in here, and he was looked at kind of funny for that, right? He lost a lot of Jerry lost confidence in him. And that's just my opinion.
Solid, man.
And then
You know.
this year, or last year and this year, he already knew that Kellen is the guy. I'm not going to touch that. Just from a job security standpoint, I can't say nothing to him. I don't think he can say nothing to him. I really don't. But now that we've crashed and burned in the playoffs the way we did, I think that chink on Kellen's armor opens it up where Jerry's now said it out of his own mouth. Like, I want you to go and actually, you don't have to call plays, but I definitely want you to have more influence when it comes to that. So him saying that now allows McCarthy to go do it. But I think McCarthy came in here with a certain energy that had balls written all over it though. So for him to have all these moves where it looks like he's kind of cowering away from shit, that ain't him. So if that's not him, I think it's coming more so from Jerry cuckolding him, saying, yo, I really do. I don't think he could say what he wanted to say throughout the season.
Bro, but
I think now he will though.
100%.
That's true. Think about it. This is a repeated offense with this front office. You saw Wade Phillips have to deal with it. Hey Wade, this is your offensive coordinator before you were even hired. Hey McCarthy, this is your offensive coordinator before you're even hired
this week. Yeah,
and this is no lie. When you said at the beginning of the show, Jerry Jones in the meetings or whatever, that is true. There are former players that have said that he's come down before and sat there and was like, well, who's doing what?
Right.
Explain it. No. And Cole Beasley came out and spilled the beans and said, the front office does dictate who gets the rock sometimes. And I believe it 100%.
Cole Beasley.
So and let me retort, Voch, because Voch, you're not wrong, bro. But let's be honest. You
just called me wrong for 20 seconds. I
just want to say. Well, I'm gonna say. So we're gonna.
Not wrong, but you did wrong.
But I'm gonna. All right. So let's pick a side then.
Go ahead.
Aaron Rodgers, the same Aaron Rodgers who came in the league throwing the ball like this. Does Mike get any credit for developing him? How about Aaron Rodgers, the same Mike? Aaron Rodgers, the same Aaron Rodgers who hasn't won anything without Mike McCarthy. This is the greatest guy. Mike McCarthy's been a coach in this league for a long time, bro. He's paid his dues. And here's the truth. Sure. You got a guy like Mike McDaniel who sat under the Shanahans and learned how to be an OC, to put the work in. The problem is this. It goes back to what Sky said. He was not allowed to tell Zeke, you can't go in the game. He just wasn't, because that's what comes with being a coach for the Dallas Cowboys. Yep. He was not allowed to tell Zeke to. Zeke is one of those guys who what do we talk about in the beginning of the show? There are certain players who are held on to too long. They're not told the truth. Whatever it is, they're going to baby them. And he is one of those guys. He was never, Mike McCarthy would have called a better game against San Francisco. I'm just going to be honest with 100%. You. Dog,
anybody could have called a better game.
The second drive, we're doing a hook and ladder. Are you serious?
So,
come on, bro.
Right.
Like, it's ridiculous. This is a playoff game.
Looked like it was the
we did not look prepared.
But everybody said that's Dak Prescott fault in my chat over here.
That is the least of my worries, fam. Like, that is so far down of my worries with this team right now. It's not even funny.
But let me just say this real quick, and I'm going to shut up.
Go ahead.
I just want to say this, Voch.
Sir.
We cannot keep getting on Mike McCarthy. It's BS, bro. Like, I'm telling y'all.
So who's job is it?
Hold on. Let me finish, Voch. Let me finish. You've been
finishing all show.
No.
He came in on fire.
Nah, I'm on fire.
You've been killing it though. You are on fire. Go ahead.
I don't like the fact that Mike don't have balls. What? He's being asked about his job. They're trying to replace him in the middle of the season. It's BS. You don't do that, bro. That's crazy. We were 12-5.
He just went 12-5, and they talked about firing him.
That's crazy. Like, come on, y'all. That's weak, bro. We had a terrible coach in Jason Garrett who had 8
people
years.
actually considering it.
Take a breath.
I would love Sean Payton.
He was snipped. It's true.
So
he might be saying things.
No, but Voch is saying he's not a good coach.
What was he lost?
That's what
I didn't say he's not a good coach.
Well, that's how I took it, Voch. So maybe I'm wrong.
Of course, you took it different than how I said it. I'm not saying Mike McCarthy's a bad coach. I think he's done some great things here, right? But I think if I'm the head coach, I'm looking at the stat sheet. Tony Pollard got 3 carries. Cedric Wilson got 8 targets. Coop got 1. CD got 2. Who the fuck else gonna say, "Hey man, look"? I don't care. I don't care what the narrative is about Jerry Jones saying somebody's in charge, somebody this, somebody that. Nobody in the world can look at that and be like, you know what? We should stop throwing the CD Lamb because we should get Zeke involved. We should not scheme this together because we got to give another carry to this fella with the half torn PCL or whatever the hell was going on with him. That's what I'm saying about Mike McCarthy. Right. I think he's done a good thing in the overall scheme of things. But at some point, and it's probably not the running backs coach because Zeke probably got rank over him. You know what I mean? And so it's probably not none of them carries. But somebody. When Zeke say, "Oh Tony, I'm good, I'm going back in," somebody got to at least. Joe Randall had a whole series to himself. He at least would get whole series at a time.
You mean to tell me Voch,
That
Voch,
wasn't
me
a
and
Mike
you-
McCarthy call, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
Voch,
that's
me
what
and
that,
Voch,
there you go.
They
Voch,
made sure Zeke got his 1,000 yards so that
Voch,
we couldn't
me and
say
you,
he
me
didn't
and
get
you
his
sat
1,000
on.
yards.
Whose fault is that?
Whose fault is it?
Jerry
That's
Jones.
Jerry Jones and
It's just
Steven.
Steven, Jerry, the
Yeah.
front office.
no.
They play that.
Voch,
Jerry
Voch,
Jones.
They
Voch,
would have had
me
to
and
fire
you.
me
about
with
it,
the
Voch.
clipboard.
If you paid, they paid Zeke, so they want to justify their payment. They want to make it look like they were right when they did it.
So
if
if
you
I'm
pay
Mike
Zeke,
McCarthy,
if
I'm
you
getting
pay Zeke,
fired if
but
I give
Tony
Zeke the
come in,
ball, and I'm gonna get fired if I give Tony the ball.
No,
So why
you-
don't you just get Tony?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
I'm
with
about-
Voch, man.
I
I'm
agree.
with
I
Voch,
would have did
baby.
that too.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah, I'm
saying.
with Voch.
You might as well.
You
Facts.
at
gonna
some
fire me
point,
anyway.
you're gonna snatch the playbook from Kellen Moore, and you're gonna say, "Hey, I'm calling this play.
Man,
I'm
that's
going
what
down with
needs
the
to-
ship."
Quinn
I'ma
would be
get
coaching
fired
this team right
regardless.
now had he done that.
But,
They'd
so
have
here's
been
what,
like Dan Quinn, you promoted.
here's what needs to
It would have
happen.
been Dan Quinn's
Yeah.
job right now.
and here's what
Or
needs to
so
happen.
What?
And I'm
Right
afraid,
there.
here's what needs to happen. I'm afraid
What
it's
Frank
too
Sinatra said.
late for that.
I
Is
did
that
it my way. I feel you. On
a
that.
coach needs to come in here and be okay with confrontation, because the
Right.
the two times that the Cowboys organization has taken a turn for the better, in my opinion, have been with coaches that were confrontational, and that's Bill Parcells and that's Jimmy Johnson. Now, did they always
But
get
not
their way?
confrontational with Jerry though.
No, yeah, Bill was. Yeah,
Bill
yeah,
was.
I'm talking about. So
Bill-
was Jimmy.
and so was Jimmy. And
And
what
what
I'm
happened to Jimmy? Yeah. Yes.
No. But those two times, our organization had a dynasty in the 90s, and he
Yeah,
completely
and it
turned
turned
around
around.
a
Yeah,
terrible
you're right.
organization in the 2000s. And Jerry doesn't like that, so he gets yes men, right? Guys who are going to
Yeah.
say yes. I was hoping that Mike McCarthy will finesse him, essentially. I'm not going to get too
That's what
deep.
he kind of balancing it
He
out a
ain't
little bit.
finesse him, brother.
You
Of
know
course-
everything.
we
This
ain't
year.
12 and
he ain't
5. How
finessing,
is that?
brother.
How is that bad? Like I'm just. I
We
don't
had
know.
a balling ass team.
We had a balling ass team, but we're talking about things from the front office that held us back.
Oh, yeah,
Because
for
your
sure.
head coach doesn't have the power to say, sit down for 4 weeks, Ezekiel Elliott. Kellen Moore, I swear to my
You
goodness,
remember when
if
Jerry
you
used to
don't
come down
target
to the
Coop,
sideline when Parcells was there? Because
Yeah.
Parcells was ignoring all the shit that he was telling him to do.
You're right.
So,
But you
Jerry
need
come
that.
down.
But
yeah,
that-
Hey,
Yeah, yeah.
I would've-
That's
I
what
agree
Scott's
with you.
saying.
That's what
Hey, Foots,
that's what you said. Mike
let me
McCarthy
bring this
should've
up to
done.
you
Like,
too.
Just
Go
started
ahead, Law.
Let
ignoring
me bring
the
this point
bat
up right
phone.
here, right for Foots. You can tell that Dan Quinn got more of a fingerprint on this team as far as an influence because you can see it. What influence do you see differently from Mike McCarthy?
So
What's
here's
different?
So I will say this
I really don't
with
know.
Mike.
'Cause
I
we
think
ain't
that he was brought in to oversee, and I think that in the offseason, the concept thing that Sky was talking about, this is what we kind of want to do. It works against bad teams because Mike is an offensive guy. So, they had some good stuff going in the middle of the year, early in the year, the Patriots game. They schemed up some nice stuff. But
But
once
did it still,
film
but overall, did this team still look like a Jason Garrett team from an offensive perspective?
it kind of
I
did turn
can't-
into a weird looking,
I'll say this.
unimaginative offense.
The last 4 or 5 games, yes, Law, yes. But they had a really nice run. Listen, the Bucks game, the offense looked great.
Yeah, but Foots, that seems to be the overlining theme under Kellen right now. 2019 offense started off hot, figured some things out, and it was
He
inconsistent.
don't got a
2020
counterpunch like you said.
counterpunch, yeah.
counterpunch.
2021 offense started off hot. You get some tape or whatever, and he has no counter. Like we've been talking about since the middle of the season, Akoye. He just doesn't know how to adjust yet because he hasn't been a coach for a while.
There we go.
given
Quinn
that.
combo though was definitely a good point. Who brought that up? That was Voch.
The what?
That was fine. I know that was Law.
Yeah, I probably said it. Yeah.
Law.
The what?
Because if Dan Quinn hadn't done what he done this year, we probably wouldn't have Mike McCarthy because
Law,
the
that's Law.
defense was getting the ball back to the offense and making this team, better. Period. Like it was carrying the team for half the year. So had Dan Quinn not come in and did what he did, I think we wouldn't even be having the conversation about McCarthy. He probably would have been fired had it not been for Dan Quinn, to be honest with you. Because we won a lot of games based on the turnover ratio.
I think that Mike is also a guy of morals, man. Like he a Pittsburgh dude. He's not a guy that's, and you can attest to this, Sky. Like I think he really said, I'm gonna let Kellen do his thing. And if you have a coach, you've coached before, Akoye, you want to empower your guys. Now it's different if things is going haywire. The problem is things didn't go haywire, but they also it was things that's like, guys, this is pretty obvious exactly what we need to do. And I don't think that Mike did a good enough job with saying, hey, let's make sure that we push the ball to this player right now, do those types of things. But to say that Mike's a bad coach, I mean, they literally went 6-10 and they're 12-5. Like, I just don't, and like even the time management, Sean McVay struggles. He struggles with
that. Everybody struggles.
Yeah, a lot of coaches do. Now I'm gonna leave it here. I really do think that Mike would have did a better job calling plays than Kellen Moore. The first half of the San Francisco game was awful. It was awful.
Yeah,
quarters of
yeah, bro. I mean, it
we
was
didn't
awful.
establish an identity at all in that first half.
And it goes back to again. I'll say so to your point, Sky. We don't have tendencies, so what happens is we're just trying a bunch of stuff. We're trying a bunch of stuff.
When it doesn't work, we don't stick with stuff long enough.
And because we do, to Voch's point, we do have better personnel than the Giants, than the Skins, than the Eagles. It works.
Washington Commanders, Foots. They're the Washington.
Then the command. It works. But when you play a team that coaches, when you play a team that schemes, it's different.
I say this all the time about talent. Like when you're more talented overwhelmingly than bad teams in the NFL, it's easy to look like, the superior squad. But when the talent is level and it's matched, that's where coaching becomes extremely important. And that's where the Cowboys have fallen on their face over the last couple decades. They haven't had the coaching to be able to overcome the management and then the players to overcome the coaching. And I've been saying this forever, and I'm going to keep saying it until it changes. Unfortunately, I put the pressure on the players to have to overcome the two things above them. And name me an organization that is successful that way. There isn't one. You can't continue to ask your players to overcome inept coaching and inept front office stuff for years and years and years.
If we would have beat the 49ers, we probably would have won the damn Super Bowl. Straight up and down.
The last 3 or 4 or 5 teams that have beat the 49ers in the playoffs have won the Super Bowl.
That's crazy. They good luck. That's the gold rush right there.
Anyway, man.
They coached up, man.
Moving on. We got one cat to talk about. Then we may do some draft stuff, like general draft stuff, like not like Fusby wanted to get into the 5th round. Just me and him to do a separate show on that.
Right.
It's just general draft philosophy stuff. Just want to get into with y'all. What's the vibes on Dalton Schultz? Y'all probably heard my voice just go.
I'll probably talk about that tomorrow. Yeah.
But yeah, what's y'all vibes on this whole Schultz thing, man? Let's go with Brother Lawrence first, because I see him over there scrunching his face. We all looking for that dog. What's going on? We agree. Go ahead.
His if they franchise tag him like
let me find a new night
out. $12 to $13 million. And I'm looking at and shout out to Schultz as far as what he did for the Cowboys and the button hook routes and everything that was across the middle and comeback drags and stuff like that. But I'm gonna tell you guys,
my goodness,
I'm gonna do the bonds. I'm put some of these blockers on. They're blocking all the haters out. They got OJ Howard. You can go get OJ Howard without the knife. You can go get David Njoku and do the exact same thing for less money. On top of that, you got Blake Jarwin. I understand Blake Jarwin come back to back with injuries, but you can't count on Blake. But I know for one thing, this Dallas Cowboys and the way Dak Prescott like to target in an attempt to throw to the tight ends, go get OJ Howard.
Yep.
Go in the draft.
Now,
go get David Njoku. Go get somebody, but don't pay the man $12 million. That's too much money for Schultz. That's all I'm saying.
Now, me and Will Steele are very much so on the same page about our opinions. You know what I'm saying? I just think we just keep the cycle going. It'll just be Jarwin, Sean, and whoever else, the third guy that we draft, and we'll just kind of keep it going like that. I'm not really into the whole paying tight ends thing. Will Steele, have you changed your thoughts on that?
I don't want to pay a tight end $12 million if it's going to cost me somebody else like a J-Ron Curse or a Randy or whomever. But I will pay one of those tight ends in free agency $4 million, $3 million, or something like that. I think you can get one of those. Yeah.
I just think Schultz was a product of this system. Now he had to catch the ball. He had to. I just think it's so strange. And Foots can talk about this. We actually watched him pre-draft. He was a blocking tight end coming out of Stanford. All of a sudden this year he learned how to catch the ball, but
how to block.
I just
in space. He was bad in space. I thought he was okay.
I say he could block.
Yeah, I think he was okay.
Average. He wasn't great.
He was better. He was solid, but in space he was terrible.
Sean McKeon was a fantastic blocker.
That's my guy right there. Don't get me started on Sean.
But I know you like Sean. I'm a Schultz fanatic, but I wouldn't I wouldn't.
Come
A
on,
tight
come on,
end,
man.
no, not
12 million, man.
mm-mm.
Come on.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay him that
I'll
much.
tell you
That's
this.
the only thing, but I
I'll
think.
tell you
But at the
this.
same
This
time,
draft
go
has
ahead,
some
Foots.
nice tight ends.
Oh, here go Foots.
Yeah,
Listen,
I'm not watching tight.
listen. What is the purpose?
Jeremy
though? Like,
Ruckert,
I
that kid can
think
play.
Schultz played well, and I think his stats though pumping his his paycheck up.
100%.
Sure.
But what's the purpose in playing well for a team if you play well and now you're going to get paid because you played well,
Mhm.
and now that becomes now like a downside. Like he played
Right.
well enough to get paid, and
Salary
now we
cap.
don't want to keep him because he's
Salary cap.
No.
yeah. But I'm just saying
I think
what's the purpose? What's the incentive for playing well for this team? Like when you get a player that you develop and you like, why don't you want to keep him? Why don't we ever want to keep
Some guys get paid
I'm about to
here,
say something.
but salary cap, and you play tight end. You know what I
I
mean?
think
with
there's
the
levels.
with the Gallup, Coop, and CD conversation? Then we got two running backs. That's the only reason I would say I don't want to pay him
Right.
over.
That's what I mean. There's
Gallup,
context
you know
to
what I
it.
mean? Well, I think
I like
Schultz-
Dalton Schultz.
I
If-
like
Right.
Schultz, though. I
I
don't
like Dalton
count.
Schultz as well.
Like,
If this was the '90s and we didn't have salary cap, sure, pay Dalton Schultz and bring him back. But it's like, okay, so let me just run down some names, right? If paying Dalton Schultz means you couldn't bring this guy back, all right? Dalton Schultz
There's
or
not one guy that we got that like you saying. I know you're gonna say J. Ron. I know you're gonna
J.
say
Ron.
Gallup. Yeah, no,
those
I
guys.
would agree 100%.
I'm bringing J. Ron back.
Yeah,
For sure. He just happens to be way down that line. Malik Hooker is a guy that I would add on.
100%. If he had to go over Schultz, I'd say keep up.
I'll let you play it. So
Yeah,
so it's not personal against Schultz. You know what I mean? It just happens that.
And I don't want to knock him. Like he was vital
Sure.
to this team this year, and I think he's a cerebral player. He has chemistry and all that good stuff. But
He makes bigger
he's
plays than I
capped.
thought he would be able to make.
He only
capped.
dropped 2 passes. This whole
not a bad player. This isn't about that. I think it's the system. I think he was a
that's
product of his environment.
Yeah.
As long as you block and catch the ball that Dak throws to you, then we good.
And I don't think we need to go get a OJ Howard either. I think you can keep.
I think you
Man,
could draft a tight
2.2
end.
million. Look,
You
look,
need
Let
to
look,
McKeon do
Akoye,
his job.
2.2
You need
million
to get
is
another
his
one in
market.
there.
2.2 million. That's
Because
his
every
market.
tight end that we end up getting, they're like day 3 to undrafted guys anyway. So just keep, like I said, just keep that side.
Yeah, but we went through. See, a lot of people forget wide receiver by committee that year. We always talk about wide receiver by committee. We forget we went tight end by committee that year, and it wasn't pretty.
It wasn't
So
good.
I do want to bring in some type of talent to compete with Jarwin and what's the other, Sean McEwen.
Well, of course your
If you
tight
keep
end
Jarwin,
look
I
a
would.
little
I would.
weird.
I think Jarwin
let me
McEwen
let
did
me
a good job.
let me just say
Jeremy
this.
Ruckert, baby.
I was about to say,
Nah,
listen,
I'm talking about an established guy.
Oh, okay.
but you know what though? You are onto something about Rucker. If you want a blocking tight end who could also, the way he was used at Ohio State, he didn't even really get targets, bruh. He will. I'm
You
telling
already
you.
got that. Though. You got McKeon.
Yeah, but we're talking about day 3, right?
Sure.
Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah. You're not gonna use a
Day 3.
third round pick on a tight end.
Let me ask y'all this: what should our general draft philosophy be? To Fuss's point earlier, Cowboy fans bother the shit out of him. I think people are really afraid to draft guards. I just think that they're so caught up with and this is a whole nother thing, moving Leo to left guard thing that they,
I don't want to do that.
I don't mind anybody trusting Terrence Steele. Like I'm fine with that because if Tyron get hurt, you're gonna have to trust Terrence Steele anyway. But we can't be afraid to draft left guard, especially the left guards in this class that we could be drafted because there's some MFs in this class. You understand?
That's it.
But both things are true though, Voch. Like I don't think you go move Collins to left guard and say forget drafting a left guard. I think you just make that move to say now I can get the best player available, and if it is a left guard or a guard available, we still take it. But Collins' move just kind of puts a nice band-aid on it going into the draft, I think. But you still draft it if it's there, though. You know what I mean?
Well, to your point, who's the best left guard or who's the best guard potential in this draft that's going to fall in the 24th?
By offense.
I like
See, it doesn't matter who the
Johnson,
best
me
is because there's a
personally.
handful of them in day 1 or 2 you can get that can come in here and start sooner.
And it'll be better than what we have. Here's the thing. With guard, you're gonna get the best available at that position because guards and centers fall. Because what happens is, as the process, like after this combine that they're gonna put on TV and everybody's gonna run 40s, this receiver class is loaded.
For sure.
Okay. So what's gonna happen is these DNs, These receivers are going to fly up boards, and you will have a day one plug and play player at 24 on your offensive line. You guys watched the San Francisco game, and the truth is they played on the other side of our line of scrimmage, and Biotish got walked back all game, and so did Connor Williams. He was in Dak's lap all game.
Yep.
And so we need a guy who can anchor. If you want to talk, you know, Green, if you want to go Zion Johnson, but I definitely want to go guard.
If you moved Collins to left guard, though, would you still draft a left guard at 24?
I mean,
Foot.
I would. Foots.
I would immediately go.
I wouldn't.
The conversation has to
Do you
be.
still think, like, if you're making it a
all day.
Connor Williams versus a top talent left guard, okay. If you're making a McGovern versus a top talent left guard with what we saw
That's a
there,
good question,
okay.
Akoye.
But if you move Collins to left guard, you don't need to jump off a bridge and go get
No, you
one
do not.
at 24.
Not if it's
Do
not
you-
if it
can-
not if it
can-
hold on,
is
Foots.
Collins
Hold
ready
on,
to play
Foots.
left
Not if
guard?
he can do it. He can do it.
Man,
He just
I
need
don't
need to do it
problem-
now.
right now.
Like if
I think-
Akoye, if you do it now, right? If that's the move, like, hey, this is our plan.
Right.
Collins,
Get
you are
acclimated
now
off
our
the
left
edge.
guard
Right.
moving forward. Then you have to kind of remove guard off the board at 24 because Collins is still only 29 years old. He got plenty of time left in this
Yep.
league,
And
he's signed under contract for the
Smith
next.
with that move too, because Smith doesn't have, like, part of Smith's injuries was
I'm not
guys
saying to do it,
stepping
by
on
the
him,
way,
falling
y'all.
into him, or him having to help guys out. You don't have to help Collins out as much with power. Collins' problem was on the outside was speed.
Yeah.
Power is not an issue for Collins. I mean, I think Collins can play inside.
I think he can.
I mean, Voch, I trust you on you and Foots when it comes to offensive line, but I really think Collins can do it, man, at left guard. I think he
may
can.
not need to though.
Collins can play whatever position you want him to play. You know what I'm saying? I just think he should be settled at right tackle. He just one of them dudes where every time he move, he look a little funny. You know what I'm saying?
But
And then plus something else that happens too is if you move Lael to left guard,
Right.
we move everything else up one spot, meaning Terrence Steele starts now.
Mm.
I
Terrence
like
Steele was
Terrence.
fine at right tackle, man.
I totally agree. Sure, he's a
Right.
fine player there. I think Lael's a better right tackle, and I trust Terrence Steele as a swing guy.
As a
If
swing.
Terrence Steele starts, now we got to go find swing guys.
But
You know what I'm saying?
you got the
That's
same.
that's
We got the
easier to
same
do,
issue
Voch.
a lot of people had back in the day. Remember. I know everybody remember Larry Allen, right?
I
Big
love
Larry
Larry.
Allen. You got to
Okay,
say big
so
Larry
when-
Allen. Every time you say Larry Allen, you got to put big in front of it. Go
Exactly,
ahead.
because when Larry
Big Luther,
feet,
little
when his
Luther.
feet got funny, you know, when he was a left tackle, when his feet got funny, you had to move him inside because his feet
Right.
weren't
He
the
was too
same. And
big, yeah.
Collins,
Sure.
you might say Collins overall is the better, the most stout and the most experienced at right tackle, but his feet were hampered last year for whatever reason. He was top heavy. He didn't have the kick like he used to have. So
Yeah.
I think moving him inside is the same reason you move Larry inside. He's still strong enough at the point of attack. He's still smart enough to know what schemes he needs to pick up or whatever, but his feet just ain't there at right tackle right now. I don't agree that he's better than Steele at right tackle, only because of the athleticism is not there. It's not
Can
there.
I ask a draft question?
I think he's very much so still an athlete. I just think, hey man, get
It looked different.
he definitely looked different. But the only way to work him back into shape is to play him. You know what I mean? The only way to get him back acclimated is to play him. Plus, Koye, you don't take a southpaw boxer and say, "Hey, bro, you gonna fight orthodox right now? Just go do it." Like
Well,
gonna
but when they got that experience already, you can. No, he's
Well,
done it.
Yeah.
But Voch, you have to do it.
Lyle Collins is left-handed.
But you have to do it now. Like you can't wait.
Where's this magical elite Leo Collins left guard film at?
Yeah, I
Where's that?
don't like that. I
I'm
don't
not
like
saying
people.
he elite there.
Not you.
But-
Not you. I just think Cowboy fans, they see this one highlight of him running over a safety and a linebacker,
minute.
pulling, and all
Voch did, I mean, Law did
Law
that.
did
too.
that.
Come on, man. Leave me alone,
Law
man.
knew what he
You
was
see,
doing.
you pulling out the
That
machete
video
now,
got like
man.
80,000 views.
I just feel like we can't be so afraid. This is what my master plan is, right?
What is that?
If we get to 24, best player available, let's just say Kenya Green, Zion Johnson, whatever, a left guard that we feel like we could trust. I'll even take Ed Ingram on day 2 because he a bad motherfucker too. Let's just say a guard that can play day
He's
one.
a really good player.
A guard that can play day 1 for you. A day 1 guard. Give me one of them physical cats that can be a good help guy for Tyler. Leave Lael at right tackle and let
I'm fine
Terrence
with that.
Steele be your swing guy that you feel good about because you know that Tyron Smith thing is going to happen.
Yep.
We know that.
What is your trust factor on Josh Ball then, if that's the case in the
Dude,
scenario?
how can you have
We
any
don't know
trust?
nothing
You don't know
about
nothing
him.
about him.
Shit about Josh Ball. Because look,
So tackle may be your issue of need, right? Tackle. You
Not
might
if-
need tackle more than guard.
It is
not if you leave Lael at right tackle. If
Yeah.
you leave Lael at right tackle and Terrence Steele is your swing guy, you ain't got to worry about Josh Ball. You just got to get this left guard in which transitioning from college to pro, left guard is easier than it is tackle.
But if you do that though, Voch,
Don't
you
get
going into the season still gambling on a
Gambling.
rookie. See what
And
I'm
do
saying?
you
If
trust?
he's
Do
not
you
the
trust
guy-
Terrence
Oh,
Steele at
Hubbard
left
was the
tackle
guy.
more? Do
If
you
he's
trust
not
Terrence
the
Steele at
guy,
left tackle?
But
we
I,
still gonna have a
I
problem.
feel
all
much
next
better
season.
gambling with a rookie guard than
I agree.
than any other, almost any other position besides running back. To keep it a bean, and that's me thinking real fast. Guard
you're right.
and running back, I
You're right,
feel like
Sky.
can transition a little bit quicker than tackle,
You got a
cornerback,
guy
quarterback.
as Tyler
Tyler
Biadasz.
Biadasz, yeah.
We got
Yeah.
Biadasz who seems like he's still having some cerebral issues. I'd rather have.
Well, he's a center.
veterans on
That's
either
different.
side.
Yeah,
Center.
should be fine.
I'd rather
Tyler
have
for
veterans
Tyler,
on either
Tyler
side of
Linderbaum.
him rather than having
I like
Tyler and the
Linderbaum.
rookie.
Well,
I'd
I-
rather
So-
have
Tyler.
Let
Yeah,
me
should be fine. Go ahead.
let me so what to Voch's point, Kenyon Green, we need it. I hate to say this, we need ass at guard.
I'm sorry, what happened?
Hit him with it,
We
Koye.
need ass,
Hit him with
bro.
it,
Like
Koye.
when you pause.
Who ordered the
pause.
ass?
wasn't ready.
Who ordered the ass?
Listen.
Hold up.
We need a guy who handles strength.
Problematic.
Bro.
I won't.
When
We're not
you
letting that
look-
go.
I dropped
Listen,
the knife, like, he dropped
when
the knife
you-
again.
When you
People
look
get
at
ass.
Kenyon
Oh,
Green play,
You see how he trying to
bruh,
smooth right
he's-
through that?
he plays with strength. Now, somebody brought up the good point about
Y'all
center.
DMV boys. Wow, boy. Go ahead, man.
Pause that, man. When
Right
you
through it.
listen,
Foot's
when
pushing
you-
P, man. Go ahead.
when you listen,
Pushing
Say the ass in the middle.
dog, we don't. These guys ain't strong. They can't
Go ahead,
anchor,
Chuck,
bro.
move on.
And so we always talk about the run game. They don't move anybody. You see what I'm saying? And the truth is, bro, if you give me the best guard, because you said Akoye betting on a rookie, bro, we're gonna have our highest rated guard available at 24. It's gonna happen. And so, you know,
I was still. I wouldn't have a problem with that though. I still say move. Tell Collins he's moving right now, as an insurance policy, and then if that guy's there, Collins gets to go back to right tackle, and we can go ahead and plug him in if he's a beast in camp. If he's not, or if we don't get that, Collins should still be sitting there. That's just my opinion on that. Because
we draft well though, Akoye, especially in the first round.
So where do you stand? And I know these guys
I don't
are
want to be
impossible.
forced to take a guard in the first round. Though.
Where
I
do you
wanna
stand
have
with
to do it.
Charles Cross and the Evan Neal's kid?
tackles?
There we go. There we go.
Tackles.
He ain't-
They
he
out.
ain't get that.
Cross is
That's-
out.
There we go.
Cross out.
Tackles,
Just
you know,
wishful
tackles
thinking.
fly.
We're not
Listen,
going.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is a hot take. Cross is my favorite tackle in his draft because of how well he plays against speed rushers.
Hell State.
Evan Neal needs a lot of work, but I don't want to turn this to a draft show. They say I can talk your head
Well,
off.
I
on
just
the
look
draft
at it as
show.
why are we talking about
wanna-
Evan Neal and them wing? That's
They won't be there. They
We
won't be there.
ain't- we ain't
We're
gonna
looking
touch it.
for Linderbaum, Zion Johnson. We're looking for guys like Trevor Penning, possibly.
You kicking him inside, Voch?
What,
Sir?
I don't
They
want-
You
talking
kicking
about
Penning
that.
inside?
who they
100
get.
Got no bend to that.
Yeah, me
Is that
too.
the 6'7" kid?
He's 6'7".
The Iowa,
six-
it's the
six-
Northern
I don't-
Iowa.
I don't
kid,
like that. You
Scott.
look,
He
Voch,
didn't do
you
good
play.
in the Senior
You play
Bowl.
offensive line.
Yeah, but
I don't
when?
feel comfortable with a 6'7" guy at offensive guard. Leverage is not his friend right there.
It's a good
He's
point, Scott.
He's
I think he'll be
6'7",
fine. I
320.
think he'll be fine because of his hands, knee
Man,
bend,
that's-
and nastiness.
that's
It's
so
all
tough.
about knee bend at the end of the day.
Okay, so he can get low enough.
For
He's
sure.
physical.
Okay.
He's very
Oh, yeah.
physical,
If
Scott.
we want to talk about knee
Yeah, he-
bend, Kenyon Green 6'4", but get under everybody. That motherfucker bend.
6'4".
I love Green.
6'4" about
Get
to
up under the folding table, huh?
6'4", 6'5" is where you cap off them. 6'7", god damn, that's tall.
Hey, Voch, can I ask you a quick question?
Elias
Yes,
Campbell
sir.
at guard.
How do you feel? Do you want to keep Zion Johnson at guard, or do you want to move him to center?
I think Zion Johnson is more of a guard tackle guy than guard center guy.
I didn't like his tackle tape, but we'll say that. Now, let me ask you this, guys. Can we? I do not. I know where. I think I know where Akoye is going, and he has a loud voice in Cowboys community. I do not. I'm pounding the table. Don't give me a receiver in the first round.
Traylon
Whoa,
Burks.
whoa,
Yeah,
whoa, so let me tell you something right now.
Hell
If
no.
Amari Cooper ain't on this team, get ready, Foots. Get ready.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Sky, why Sky?
No,
Sky,
Because it
Sky,
shoots up
make
your
it make
board.
sense.
No, Fussy,
I'll make
right.
it make sense right now.
It would.
You
it
get
would
rid of
good if
Amari
you-
Cooper.
if
Here are
you-
your receivers on the roster: CeeDee Lamb, Simi Fehoko.
Right.
Those are your receivers on
Right.
the roster.
Say that again.
You pull
CeeDee
that
Lamb,
beanie down.
You don't even have
Simi
Malik
Fehoko.
Turner.
So you better pull that goddamn beanie down.
So,
look,
receiver goes. Phew.
I think
But-
Coop has to come back because of where we're at,
Yep.
in terms of wide
And
receiver
Gallup's
room.
hurt. Yeah.
I don't even think they have a choice but to bring Coop back.
Do you trust Kellen Moore with the guy? Everybody loves Traylon Burks, and I like him.
I don't think they got nothing to do with this. But go ahead.
But it do, yes, it do. Because if you watching Traylon Burks, I mean, hey, you better know how to use this kid because he's
Are you
another
saying
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, if we, I don't think Burks is a guy that'll fit us necessarily. I love
That's my point,
I love him as a
Akoye. I
player.
mean, Voch.
I feel
That's
you,
my
Foots. I
point.
feel you, Foots. I don't trust the whole system situation. And honestly, now that I'm thinking
There
about
we
it, I'm
go,
talking it
Sky.
out loud. They might not even view wide receiver as at 24 for real because of the system. He talked
And
about.
it's not even about trust. It's like
Yeah.
it's not broke. We got a wide receiver already.
I'm with you,
Keep
bro.
him.
But I'm just saying the way they talking. You know what I mean? The tea leaves. It
Yeah,
sound like they getting ready to move on from him, and that's
Why would we try to
That's so
we
stupid,
gotta
man.
figure out if another guy can come in and do a better job than the guy that's doing a great job? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see.
The receiver thing. Let's just talk about it since we already brought it up.
since you brought it up.
This class is very deep, but I just brought up. But I'll say this though, Sky. If you wanted a guy who at 24 could come in and run your whole route tree, could give you something after the catch, it would be somebody like a Jahan Dawson, or it would be somebody like Chris Olave
Olave,
to
yeah.
me,
Garrett
because Burks is gonna fly boards because everybody's gonna compare him to Debo Samuels and they're gonna copycat.
athlete that he is.
He-
He's
Shit,
way
he
bigger.
about
though.
Garrett
230.
Wilson,
Way bigger.
Garrett Wilson is my
6'3", 230.
Garrett Wilson and Drake London are my two favorite receivers, and they're at the top of my board.
Drake. Oh, good,
But
good.
I think that they will be sitting. I think that Chris Olave.
I hate that
will
we're
come
talking
in
receivers.
and-
That shit.
I know.
It ain't-
Really,
it's not
we
you.
should.
It's
We need to be
not
talking
you.
backer.
It's
So
the
let's do this
Cowboys that's pissing me off because I got a feeling that that's going to happen the way we reading these tea leaves. But that shouldn't even be a discussion at 24.
It's the
So let's-
Cowboys. It's the draft night.
Yeah.
So let's do
You
this.
know
then.
what happens.
So let's do this then quickly because this ain't the roundtable draft show. Me and Foots got to do that separately. So if we had a top 3 needs for the
Okay.
Cowboys at 24,
Did that
assuming
today.
you know what I mean, so it's perfecto, and go check out Skywalker Steele at A to Z.
Yeah, Sky.
Shameless plug. Get him.
If we had a top 3 needs, you know what I'm saying, position wise, right?
Mm.
What are we
Okay.
feeling, man? What are the vibes? I don't, we can just assume that, perfect things are happening free agency wise. Let's just assume just whatever you want to happen free agency. Just a top 3 needs. So just whoever's listening right now, we just give them a general vibe of what we should be looking for when we're on the clock at round 1. Go ahead, Law. We'll let you go first.
Ooh, yeah,
I'll
you
be
hit me
quick.
with that one, dog.
You need 5 seconds.
Man, go ahead.
I got
We'll
mine.
do it.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Kick it over to Akoye or something.
I got mine, and
Or-
just because this is my top 3 doesn't mean this is what you take in those rounds or in round 1. But I have, and this might not be popular, but defensive tackle 1 tech as number 3. I definitely have that one there. And the whole time y'all talking about guard, all I'm thinking about is big ass number 99 from Georgia, Jordan Davis,
Yes,
just
sir.
demolishing other guards. So
Yeah.
I unfortunately have fallen in love with Jordan Davis, the prospect, and I hate it because we're not going to take him. But that's
Right.
the guy I would love to have on my defense. So one tech defensive tackle is number 3 for me because we don't have anybody except Quentin Bohanna. Number 2 is offensive guard. We just talked about that. And for me, this may be a surprise, but linebacker is number 1 because all you got right now is Micah Parsons and I love Jabril Cox off of ACL and no one else. You got Bernard and Gifford you can give rights to, the exclusive rights and the restricted free agency qualification thing, but you don't have enough healthy bodies at linebacker or depth there. And you're looking at guys like Devin Lloyd, Chad Muma, and the Kobe Deans and the Quay Walkers. This is a good draft to get a backer in the first day or two. So I look at backer as my number 1 need, almost because of bodies that are not there. But this can get flipped if Amari Cooper is cut
I
or
really like what
if
you're
D-Law's
saying.
cut.
I really like what you're saying, but my order of importance is a little different. You
Okay.
know what I mean? I feel like having Micah makes linebacker a need, but less important of that 3. You know what I mean? So, but it still depends on who's there on the board, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
If Dean
There's
is
gonna
there,
be some linebackers on the board though. You got
Lloyd
a
is
lot of them.
there. Let's
Yeah.
boogie. You know what I'm saying? But if not, you can be fine with a
You can day 2 linebacker. You can get away with.
get
Yeah.
any one of the Georgia kids, you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Walker, Tyndale, pick
Mhm.
one, you'll be fine. And then just compliment those dudes because Jabril Cox still exists. You know what I mean? So it's a little less of an emergency unless somebody top tier is there. Then guard and D tackle for me. Now, Skywalker, still, you say that D tackle is not in the cards, and I do agree with you, but there is a scenario. I was looking at a mock where we was totally wiped the fuck out. Like we were super ass wiped, and we ended up getting Jordan Davis because we were super ass wiped. I do think at some point you got to overlook position value and just think about the best player
Talk to him.
at that point. And that motherfucker would be the best player, regardless of
He's
position.
one of one. You ain't gonna find another. Yeah,
I
you ain't
do
gonna find
think that
another
exists.
Yeah.
Law, you got your answer before I go to Koye and Foots, or you?
Well, that philosophy is real good. Now, just to piggyback off of what my guy Sky said, with the linebacker as being one of the needs. If you go and get the linebacker, I've seen mock drafts where what's the guy, Travis Jones or Tavares Jones? He fell in the second round, so you might can go with him. And he's not Jordan Davis, but shoot, he's a big boy that you can
UConn
utilize.
cat, yeah,
the UConn
Defensive
kid.
tackle.
So so you can go in that light, or you can go with, and I seen some mock where he dropped to the third. So I like Chad Muma. I do like that aspect. I'm looking at ways where I can build around Parsons and also
That's
they
it.
can complement Diggs. I'm looking at defense to help out this number one offense and number one in total
That's it.
points and number one in total yards or what have you. I'm looking at defense. And if you can play a stingy defense, if you can get to the quarterback
We win
before
games.
the NFL riggery hit and all of that stuff and knock the quarterback out, shoot, Cowboys can be notorious out there, especially with Parsons. And on top of that, what Parsons said when he was talking to Rich Eisen, that Dan Quinn got the juice and he don't mind moving anywhere and everywhere to take out the number one player on the opposing side. Shoot, that's music to my ears.
So why does Dan Quinn have freedoms, but we can't sit Ezekiel Elliott down? I need more.
Man,
don't-
look,
they don't
man,
care
we
about
not
Quinn.
doing
The
that.
defense
We
came
not
in
doing that,
smoking
Bob.
and
More
They don't
assertive.
care
tearing
about
people up.
defense,
Yeah.
fam.
Yeah.
We not doing
In
that,
that
Bob.
regard.
I need answers. I need answers.
Bro, they think about it.
Voch
The
got Puerto
history is
Rican,
they
Puerto
give-
Rican or Native American in his blood.
They
'cause he
give
just
the
stay put.
defensive people so much free reign. Look, Mike freaking Nolan, fam.
Right.
They let Mike Nolan do his thing.
Right.
They like Nolan.
Listen,
Koye, what's your top three? I hate Koye. What's your top three positional needs?
you know I'm defensive, and the reason I said move
Tackle,
Collins to guard is because I want Jordan Davis, and I feel like if you don't move Collins to guard, you might have to take a guard in the first round and skip over Jordan Davis, which would be a mistake because he's a one of one. So I agree with you to a degree, Sky, that linebacker is the number one need, but in the 1st round, you still
Yeah.
you gotta take
Right.
Jordan Davis if he's there because linebacker is deeper than
Right. That's
you
why
know,
I said
one
don't
tech.
hold me to
You're not
it
gonna
as
get
the
another
rounds.
Jordan Davis anywhere
Yeah.
else. So Jordan Davis is
Right.
my number one guy that I want because he's one guy. If we didn't even go pick another defensive player in the
nice,
entire
man.
draft,
That's something.
he can make this entire defense better by himself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
him.
Hey,
He makes
a
your
Tony
pass rushers
Siragusa,
better.
Sam
makes your
Adams,
linebackers better.
Yeah.
hey, I'm
You
100%
know what I mean?
with you,
So
bro.
number
Yeah.
one, Jordan Davis. After that, you could pick, like you said, you could pick, Tyndall, you could pick Dean, you could pick anybody. Well, Dean and Tyndall ain't gonna be in the second round, but
For sure.
linebackers will be, there's plentiful.
Yeah,
at
that's
that
why I said don't
position.
mix up my rankings of needs with it being
I know
what I
what
want
you
in the
meant,
first
though.
round.
Yeah, that's why I said I
yeah.
agree with you. And then after that, it depends on what happens at safety because we were talking about whether or not we keep Hooker and
Other one, really a need.
KZ.
Curse.
Oh,
Curse.
KZ
But
gone.
I like our safety class as far as defense goes. So for me, those are the three. Those are my. Oh no, I'm sorry. I have to kick safety off because we were talking about Schultz earlier, and we do need a tight end. So I would say those three. Defensive tackles. So Jordan Davis is my number one. After that, grab a linebacker, and then try to grab a tight end somewhere in the 3rd, 4th round, somewhere in there, because I don't think you keep Dalton Schultz at that high ticket. But that would be it. If it wasn't for the need for a tight end, though, I would go after a safety. And I like that dude, Petrie.
That's my guy,
What
Akoye.
Petrie played
y'all?
outside linebacker, middle
That's my
linebacker,
guy,
safety.
Akoye.
He do everything on the field. Yo.
Outside of that's my guy.
I treat safety
Love
like
it,
a
man.
ghost, man, because I understand we're just not going to do it in the first,
That's true. Scott.
Not the first round.
first, second, third, fourth. We haven't
Petrie's
drafted
a second round, second, third
we
round
haven't
guy.
drafted a
Probably.
safety.
Where do y'all stand at on Daxton Hill?
We haven't drafted a safety.
He's a good player.
Jackson
Corner.
Hill's-
2013.
That's the one from Michigan, right?
in the third
Yeah,
round.
he's a
or
player.
higher.
He played like Jordan. He looked like Jordan Lewis on film to me, man. He played like Jordan Lewis. He looked like Jordan Lewis. A small, quick twitch guy, covers good enough, hits okay, but not great at anything.
For sure. Athlete, pretty much.
Yeah.
I sell the damn farm for Kyle Hamilton, but that's just me.
Yeah, me too.
What about Brisker? What
Now
about
I
Kyle
have
Hamilton, the dude from Notre Dame.
Yes.
I got Petrie over
He's
Brisker.
tight in the hips,
Law.
man.
Oh,
I think
No.
he's
Oh,
tight in the
Akoye,
hips,
you
man.
tripping.
Yes, he
Akoye.
is, man. I'll
That's
watch
another
this
day.
film.
That's
I
another
watch
day.
this. He's not my favorite safety. Put it that way. Not
What?
in the
Oh,
jet.
no. We ain't gonna.
I like Petrie better than Hill, man.
All
I like
right.
Petrie
Yeah,
better than
well,
Hill, man. I
well.
like Petrie.
Is it
Petrie
on me
does more
yet, Voch? I've been patient.
go ahead, man. That's why
I want
next,
to. First
sir.
of all,
That's why you next.
Akoye, that is disrespectful. I've been watching Kyle Hamilton.
Kyle
This
Hamilton.
dude is
It's gonna be a
6'4".
superstar.
Bro, he's the LeBron James of the back
It's
end.
going to be.
You
He
know
play like
I
a
know
corner.
my safeties, bro. He is a freak. I would definitely sell the house for this kid. But
No.
Petrie is my second
I'm not,
favorite
I'm
player.
not selling the house for him.
I'm speaking
You
tongue in cheek,
crazy.
but that's just my favorite player.
Hey, but
He don't play in the box.
yeah. I don't want.
He play out in
want.
space like a off ball corner.
Because you know what's
He
gonna happen?
He don't play in the box at all. He's over the top
safety
safety.
with Jamal Adams. The same trap.
Oh no, it's a
Covers
different
better
player.
than Jamal.
It's a different player.
he's
guys.
better than
No,
Jamal.
He
listen,
covers better.
This is what I'm saying.
Oh,
Listen
he
what I'm saying.
does.
He's a
Listen
better
what I'm saying.
cover guy coming in.
He-
Listen what I'm saying.
They two different types of players.
This is what I'm
though. Like,
saying.
They don't even do the
This
same
is what I'm saying.
things.
This is what I'm saying. We're gonna fall into that same trap of safety, is what I'm saying. You see what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
Safety in terms of the grand scheme of your defense is what I'm saying. And just talking about selling the farm.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have said that.
No,
but
yeah. I really like him. So I do like what Akoye is saying about Petrie. I would take Petrie in the second round because as much as we like these backers,
Right.
if you get a guy like Petrie, man, he can play backer. He can play on the roof. He can play some corner. He can play nickel.
That's why I
He's
like
the
him over
best
Hamilton,
tackler. Dog, you talking about a tackling machine and diagnosis
yeah,
and
And a pass
dog,
rusher.
the
That's-
Oklahoma tape
beats
is
tackles.
outstanding.
Yeah,
That tape. But anyway, but need wise,
That whole Baylor defense is fast.
Sickening.
yeah, they are. Voch.
You just
That
watch
need wise guard. You guys are saying the right things about Jordan Davis. He would free up this defense, but I just believe that for the same reasons that we struggled when pressure is in your face, and that's why Jordan Davis will help this defense.
right?
I think that so many now quarterbacks do well with pressure on the edge, and offensive coordinator scheme that well. If you can't step up in the pocket, you dead. So D tackle is a need, and sneakily, whatever happens with DeMarcus Lawrence, I think that end will be a need.
That's why I can flip.
If
Wide receiver
Lael would
defensive
be a
end
good
could
guy to
become
go
higher
after.
needs.
If you get rid of DeMarcus Lawrence, Lael looked just like him. That kid from Texas A&M.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of DeMarvin Leal.
Oh, you're talking about defensive.
You
end.
talking about defense
Yeah.
end.
You
If
ain't
you
a fan?
got rid of DeMarcus Lawrence, then I would draft Karlaftis right now. If he's there.
He gonna be gone, right?
See, the two positions that piss me off that we got to talk about is wide receiver and defensive end, because we shouldn't be talking about that. Bring back Randy, and let's rock. Why are we talking about defense end and wide receiver right now?
I agree.
Yeah, you're right.
But what do you pay Randy?
Whatever, man. I'm not saying whatever, like you give him a blank check, but
I like
good.
Pay what the fuck
bring
he
his
wants.
ass back.
Whatever he
Yeah,
wants.
shit.
That's what he want. Give him a weed.
Jermaine, hey, Voch, me and you might be the only people that are slowing everybody down on Jermaine Johnson. He had people went crazy on this guy. I'm like, slow down. He can play, but slow down.
I ain't gonna say shit to him. Carl Loftus is the guy, man. Go look that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Go watch his film. Anyway, Purdue, defensive end from Purdue. Greek guy.
Love the way he plays the run. He's a freak against the run.
Freak
Him
person.
or David?
Sir,
Huh?
David, a job.
Oh, that's tough, Law.
that's another
Because
show.
I like
David is
his.
not bad.
That's another show. So
David
Law,
is
Law.
not bad,
His.
man.
I'm gonna tell you
Let's
something,
go.
Law. His ceiling is crazy. And it's just like the kid Jason Oweh that was at Penn State. His numbers sucked at Penn State. He gets to Baltimore and he's a freak because they didn't. It was the scheme.
And you box him in.
Yeah.
They utilize him
There
directly.
you go, right there.
There
There you go.
Did he ran like a 4.3 something?
Yes.
I'll tell you what that is. And I'm gonna leave this alone, and we're gonna move on to wrap the show up. These COVID camps,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
True.
if you're Jason Oweh, right, or I don't know his African name, pardon me, but if you're
Adafe.
Adafe, thank you. If you're Jason Oweh, what's more beneficial to you, preparing for Michigan or going to one of these camps and just learning how to be a pro football player for a whole year?
That's true.
Same thing happened with Michael Parsons, bro. Everybody can talk all this. I knew Michael was going, and Skywalker still sure patch up on the back, whatever.
I
But
don't say this stuff.
Oh, and
But
Akoye, you already
Michael,
know.
look, Michael was always a beast. The shit that he was doing as a Cowboy was not the shit that he was doing at Penn State. I think these COVID camps, so him, Penei Sewell, guys like Rashawn Slater, who was already a gangster, Russo.
Michael was already a gangster. Don't do that. Nah. See,
Still?
slide that in there. He try to slide that in there.
Yeah,
Still?
I see him.
Come on, man.
Hey,
I let him have it, though.
back.
Let him have it, Scott. Let him have it, Scott.
Listen,
Because we've been selling. He's like, yo, Mike. We used to argue about Michael not being able to cover last year.
Michael could not cover at Penn State.
He was covered on the film I put out. I tell you that.
So you mean to tell me no? Go ahead, Voch, because I'm about to.
Let him have it. Let him have it. Totally let him have it.
Okoye, do this, Akoye. Make me a not guilty film session on Michael Parsons. Now.
I don't need to. Go watch my Michael Parsons Penn State film. There's coverage in that.
I've watched it already.
He already not guilty.
I've watched it already. Listen, I don't think we gave those COVID camps enough credit. So I think moving forward, what guys like Derek Stingley, for example, if you're on a bad LSU team that you might quit on, it might just be more beneficial for you to not go back to LSU, go to one of these.
Then do you become like one of those problematic guys when you do that, though?
Kelvin Joseph types. Yeah.
That's what they're gonna be asking them about, for the.
Now you're volunteering a question mark on yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you fucking Jamar Chase and you do what Jamar Chase did, or you do what Parsons did, ain't no question marks after that. You did the right thing by sitting out. So
they definitely look smart. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you, the Derek Stingley hate is so weird to me that let him fall to 24. I would let him get even close to 20. Let him get to 20. These folks, listen,
out the window. All this Jordan Davis.
Listen, what you talking about?
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Hey, Lord, I have been following this kid since his senior year in high school. He's from Louisiana.
You'll take him over Jordan Davis?
Way. Oh yeah.
I would.
Keep talking.
I think he's a better player, but I think for this
Stingley,
team,
let me ask you this, Akoye, you do film. You do film. Go do a session on his freshman year. Incredible.
I got his footage already. I got him.
Incredible.
We wouldn't even be having this conversation if they'd have just took Asante Samuel Jr. in round 2 last year, but whatever they took.
But he wouldn't be better than Boss Man Fast. So what do we?
Let's end the show.
I mean, was he not better than him last year?
He was better than him.
Do they end careers after 1 year?
No, but I'm just saying would we be having this conversation about a cornerback?
Oh, we shooting.
So now you looking into the future.
We shooting.
I'm talking about
Akoye, you just me and you. We shooting tonight.
I'm talking about Voch Lombardi. Answer this question: who's better right now, Asante Samuel or Boss Man?
Asante Samuel played more, but what I'm saying though, brother Will, still is that they're both being groomed differently. Asante Samuel had to be thrown in fire, so of course you may have seen
Asante Samuel would have took AB's spot now.
Of course you've seen some more plays from Asante Samuel because he played more, but from the little bit of plays that we saw from Boss Man.
What?
Shit, Skywalker still.
What was so amazing about it? We got man.
We'll do.
See, this is the problem in Dallas. Hold on, bro, because we giving these players, we want to hand it to them. They don't want to. You want to hand it to them.
You ain't handing Asante.
Yeah, we is. The rumors are out there right now. We gonna cut Anthony Brown for Boss Man and bring him back for cheap and all this other stuff. Let him earn it, and then cut Anthony Brown if he gets it.
So you know what, Skywalker still. If 1 year only matters, if rookie year only matters, then this whole Carson Wentz have a job.
You're moving the goalposts. I said if we took in Asante Samuel Jr., I don't think we're having a cornerback conversation in round 1. I'm with you, Akoye and Jordan Davis all day.
to be fair, I agree with that we wouldn't be having that conversation. But we took Boss Man Fat, so
Right,
we
right.
equally should not be having that
We
conversation.
Yeah,
I
I'm
feel like
trolling.
that
I'm,
we-
tro- I'm
after
trolling. I'm
Stingley,
trolling. That's
even
all.
if
They
I'm
it's
said
trolling.
Scott choose
don't be
balance today,
trolling me,
baby.
I'm trolling. I'm trolling.
right. You could not go after Stingley because of Boss Man Fat and AB. Why would you go get him? So
You
I
crazy. You think I'm gonna let Boss Man Fat stop me from drafting Derek
Yep.
Stingley?
I would not.
If you
I
got
would not.
Jordan Davis
You
on the
still
board,
need,
yeah.
you still need
I
somebody.
got Jordan
Bro,
Davis on the board.
listen,
I'm going to get
Akoye,
Jordan Davis.
I'm not
You don't
sold.
need a corner that bad.
I love Jordan Davis. He does not affect the game. Dog, a corner that you could leave on an island, bro,
What?
is a total different ball game.
got one.
Let's save for another day. Another day.
Another day. I said
day.
I was gonna read these supers, man, but I started fussing with y'all. I apologize. I'm just about to read them right now. Just these hooligans on this daggone roundtable got me fussing. Noah Simmons dropped the deuce for the love.
I did
Appreciate
that
you,
on purpose.
DJ.
He loved
DJ,
Boss.
I hate you. DJ, because I know you, but I fell for it anyway. DJ's World dropped the 5 and says it's been 26 years. Immediately look at Skywalker Steele's face. Going by Owen, great name. Drop 5 in super chat says could have had me a baby and went back to college by the time this roundtable got back together. Damn, my bad, bro. Landlord dropped 5 and says for the coach. Appreciate you, sir. 5 for the 5 goats. Salute. Reggie dropped 5 for the love. Appreciate you. Marcus dropped a buck for the love. Appreciate you. And Lavish D said, but Voch, what about Jalen Werdemeyer, tight end from Texas A&M? It's interesting because a year ago he was considered probably like a first round tight end guy, but he's been looking like a day 2 projection. So
Is he?
it's always good to wait these things out.
I thought he was tight. Who besides McBride? That's another popular guy. He's not tight end 1 anymore.
Yeah. I mean, there's no real tight end 1 this year. Okay. You know what I mean? So and to be fair, this is hilarious. Werdemeyer was looking like that guy till Jabril Cox ran into him and kind of shut him down a little bit, and now we just kind of it is what it is. But listen. Roundtable, Skywalker Steele, do you have an applause sound effect? Do you have anything along?
You know what's funny? I took that sound effect out so I could put this joint.
I got one right here.
There you go.
There we go.
Listen, man, the vibes are unmatched, man. I super appreciate being able to work with these gentlemen. I love being able to work with these gentlemen. And we know that y'all do too, because every time we don't have one of these long enough, you know what I'm saying? Y'all be like, yo, Voch, when we're going to get another round table in, when we're going to do this, when we're going to do that. And, we hear you. We hear you. It's just that we know what's best for y'all by doing these things spread out a little bit. But if somebody wanted to drop a bag, if somebody wanted to drop a bag on the round table to be weekly, then we'll just have to do what we got to do. But we ain't at that point. So
tell them again, Voch.
But we will get. And look, things in the works. We gonna see what's going on here. I don't know.
Call Barstool Sports or something.
Yo, every Wednesday night will go good, man.
That's
what
right.
the middle of the week.
Right.
Come on, y'all.
Barstool let you go too. But anyway, we sit here giving them sponsors.
We'll cross the road, never get there. But hey, listen, just as you're watching us as a whole, you can definitely watch us separately as well, because the content is just as fire. Plus, you get our own individual thing that we do. You know what I mean? Akoye doesn't do film; he drops pieces. He does pieces. You know what I'm saying? He's a different.
You started that too.
It's a reason why
now everybody say that too.
It's a reation why this picture is next to Akoye in his solo shot, man.
Yeah,
books and
classical.
Look at this background. There's a globe back there, all kind of intelligent shit back there in Akoye background.
Man, Akoye made me watch this documentary. Akoye, me and my lady was sitting on the couch and I watched a lot of documentaries in my life, but I said, this motherfucker got
what doc is it?
Off air. I ain't trying to get shut down.
Right, that's your whole YouTube now, but that was.
Oh shit. Okay, well, we'll talk about it when it's non-council.
Gotta go to the black market.
Tell the people to find you at, man.
Akoye Media, man, on YouTube. I just started a IG. Well, I didn't just start it. I just got back into it. Akoye Clips on IG as well. I separated my Akoye Media on Instagram because that was an old page. It's more personal, family, and stuff like that on there. Akoye Clips is simply football, man. So if you want to follow me there, you can follow me there. Definitely on Twitter as well at Akoye Media. But just hit me up, man. I'm on it. Boxing content is coming. Y'all actually watched the last boxing video I did, so I will put some more boxing content up too, man. But I appreciate it. Appreciate the plug too.
Foots the King, my guy, did he just fall asleep? Foot,
Nah, man, no, bro. I'm looking at the comments. Nah.
Oh, wow.
Here we go. Every
You look
every
tired though.
show.
You do
You
look.
shouldn't have
Hey,
fell
tired
asleep
when he
I
like
was
jumped
that.
I was
on.
working my kids out earlier, so y'all know
Ah.
you know how it is, Akoye, when you train and do all that stuff.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
Foots is
You-
one of
it's
my
another
go-to
workout.
guys, and
I just drove back.
no.
I just drove 10 hours
bad.
before this joint, so I got you. Go ahead though.
Foots,
Who next?
Foots is one of my go-to guys in terms of draft world. As busy as I get with draft, Foots gets just as busy. We're gonna do some collab work soon. So Foots,
Yeah,
tell
all
them
my go-to.
Man, y'all know Cowboys Nation TV and then Foots the King on Twitter. I was about to do my positional rankings, but I'm gonna wait till I have all the information from the combine. Combine is on field, I believe, tomorrow. Or yeah, they start, and it's they want to save the speed guys for TV and all
Can I
that.
just
But
say one thing,
I will
man?
say
Just
this,
one thing. I know.
and this is the God's honest truth. The corners. Watch this, because the corners in the 40s will tell the difference. They will tell the difference between maybe some of these guys getting pushed back to us. Sauce Gardner and the two Washington corners. Watch what they run. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to plug that. But anyway, much love, y'all. Much love.
I'm gonna pull up this video before we leave, but go ahead.
All right, cool. Will Steele, best in the business. Tell him
Oh
what's
nah,
up.
man, y'all too kind.
No, sorry, you the best in the business.
Yeah,
You the best in the business. And I don't want to hear a word of back talk.
No,
from
that's
you.
100.
Go ahead.
You can find me A to Z Sports Dallas every morning, Monday through Friday, doing the morning show for the new groove. I'll just say that A to Z Sports Dallas. We coming up, and you can find me on Twitter as well at Skywalker. Still, I'm always on there fussing. I was fussing with Voch today, but I try to chill a little bit. Yeah,
Watch one person back.
I try to chill a little bit, but follow me on there, man. At Skywalker Still on Twitter, man. Appreciate all y'all as always. It's fire. The vibes is love. Akoye, we got to get back into our thing.
Love y'all boys, man.
And I'm
Yeah,
trying to
ready
incorporate
whenever you are,
everybody
man.
else
Just hit
too.
me,
So
man. I'm on it.
yeah.
My OG. Everybody got their own. OG got their own, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But mine in particular, the one I'm vouching for, is Brother Law Nation. You know what I'm saying? Sir, they know where to find you at, because they wouldn't be finding none of us if they know who your ass was. But go ahead, sir. You can give the free plug for the 2 or 3 people that have no clue who you are. But go ahead, sir.
Yes, Law Nation, man, on
they in the
Instagram,
Ukraine?
Twitter, Twitch, and as well as
yeah.
Facebook.
See,
We
shout
live
out
on
Akoye,
Facebook
Akoye.
right now,
See?
man.
Okay.
And shout
I
out
don't
to
wanna
Justin,
edit this
man. He made a donation over here, man. Appreciate you, Justin. He said if they let go Cooper, that would be a huge mistake. We all agree with that, I believe.
What?
But it is what it is. You know, money in the Jones family, they like to put out that myth with the salary cap and everything, and we got to stay under it. Although the Saints was $76 million over the cap, and that's a story of a different day and a whole nother episode. But I appreciate y'all, man. This was wonderful, man. It was wonderful. Let's go, Cowboys.
This was good. This was good.
100% Mr. Wolf, 100% Mr. Wolf. And I'm Voch Lombardi for anybody that's, listening, tuned in, just a humble little cat from Natchez, Mississippi, same place where Law Nation's from. We do film sessions over here. We talk general thoughts and ideas and philosophies, like kind of like we were doing tonight. I don't come to the round table and fuss with them about things that I haven't discussed with y'all at some point about. So join my live stream. They're pretty lit. VOCHLONBARDI on anything. And if you're a super draft fan, like if you're a casual draft fan, you can find some of my highlighted draft stuff on the YouTube. But if you're a super draft fan, you can go to patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. That's where we watch most of the draft film, most of the college film. So go over there, check it out, man. It's a good little deal. Will Steele, you got some music to get us up out of here?
I got a video. Then we drop the music. Just a little laugh real quick.
And I just want to say one thing, man. Like just one thing. I know my opinion and most of our opinion when it comes to what we saying, it's just coming from what I'm seeing. I don't really give a shit who plays well for me. I don't care what number they got either. If you play well. So I only speak up and big up guys that show up and show up in ways that other people don't.
I say pussy.
He knocked out. I thought he was knocked out too. Like look like Weekend at Bernie.
Weekend Uncle
I'm legit. I'm just tapping, y'all. That's all.
Oh no!
I just had to bring back that classic, man. I had to bring back that classic.
Is he gone? Foot's gone.
Oh.
Foot. Where you at?
I'm still here.
Shame.
I'm here.
Shame.
I don't see you, Foots.
It ain't no
Shame.
thing to do.
Y'all got me?
No, you blacked out.
You blacked out,
But with
Foots.
that being said, though,
You there, bro?
appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is the Roundtable with 5E. And until next time, man.
Oh man.
It ain't no thing to do my thing, it's what I do the best. I feel my mattress, pay my taxes, then I blew the rest. And it's okay to do your thing, but just don't do the least. I quit my boss and cooked that sauce and fed that to the streets. Sliding it like a wet flow, already fried from the get-go. Alligators look like gecko, everything I do they echo. Big facts, my bank on big man, my drip too wet, that's